much to think back upon the past 365 days. Plans by the wayside, disappointments or challenges, it all seems to blur in a haze. As we look on the year, at times it's been sad we fell short on things meant to unfold. But the wonderful part of it here for us now, we can look inside our souls, look deep within our souls. What a chance on the new year for positive change in our lives. Set some goals, face some old fears, aim for what we want for our lives. And above all, be thankful for blessings every day. And above all, be mindful that we create our own way. What a chance on the new year. Days come and go in the vacuum of modern life. It's easy to dim our own light, but now is the chance to put an end to the compromise, beginning on New Year's night. Let's spread the kindness, there's a whole lot to gain. Let's send it wherever we go. Let's do our share to help brighten the world, 'cause now more than ever we know we've got to let our love flow. What a chance on the new year for positive change in our lives. Set some goals, face some old fears, aim for what we want for our lives. And above all, be thankful for the blessings every day. And above all, be mindful that we create our own way. What a chance on the new year. Face every day with excitement and joy. Can't wait for it all to unfold. To live in the present and cherish each moment. Discover treasures untold. Adventures yet to unfold. What a chance on the new year for positive change in our lives. Set some goals, face some old fears, aim for what we want for our lives. And above all, be thankful for the blessings every day. And above all, be mindful that we create our own way. What a chance on the new year. What a chance on the new year. What a chance on the new year. What a chance on the new year.
Yes, indeed. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I am Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister here. We are here to celebrate love. That's what we're here to do on this beautiful Sunday morning. Yes, indeed. We are a spiritual community, a spiritual family, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to spend your Sunday morning with us here. I will, of course, offer this reminder. Our vision here at Unity of Tucson, we envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. And here are some beautiful faces of the people in our congregation for you to observe and love up. That's what we're here to do. We're here to love everybody up. Something great has happened in love. It's taking hold and it won't let go of us now. That's the key. Something here is calling forward, upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. With the dream of your highest calling, the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa, whoa. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing. Feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Well, it's the end of the month, and I still have not learned that song. I'm getting there, though. Well, when it comes back around, I'm sure it'll be absolutely perfect. So once again, good morning and welcome to Unity of Tucson. I already said it's a beautiful Sunday morning, beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. I took a picture from the window of my office this morning as the sun was coming up, and just the mountains were this not quite pink, but not quite orange color. It was so glorious. I posted it on Instagram and on Facebook. So if you're on one of those platforms, you can check it out if you're friended up with me. Again, we are a spiritual community. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life, and that is what I stand for in this thing that I call ministry, the adoption and implementation of practical spiritual tools. You know, when I every day on my mindful moment on Facebook, I say, when we engage our practical spiritual tools on a consistent and regular basis, life just gets better all around. So that's what we're here to do, is to learn those tools and to put them into practice in our lives. It is my belief that we can precipitate our own spiritual evolution. And I'm going to talk a little bit around evolution today in my message, because at the end of the year, a lot of people think about, oh, where have we come from? Where are we going to? And part of this is to recognize that evolution starts in this here and now moment. And when we engage with that love in our hearts in this here and now moment, we are setting the tone for everything that flows forth. Let's read together the words of our mission statement here at Unity of Tucson and share this. And just check in and see how this feels for you as you read this out loud with me. Here we go. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And the truth is, our nature is divine. The core identity of each and every one of us is God. It is divine creative essence. It is spirit. It is universal consciousness. It is flow. And when we accept this as the truth of our being, everything sort of takes care of itself. I believe that spiritual transformation is possible, and our work is to awaken to that magnificence. It is up to each and every one of us to live within that flow. And of course, I do want to offer that the tenets of this vision of ministry, simple, as easy as you decide for them to be, they are these: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And I do know a truth about you, and it is that you are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. Take a few moments to reach out to those people who are watching with you, your spiritual family. Use the chat function in the video to say hello and let them all know how magnificent they are. Use your own voice, use your own words to express the magnificence of everyone who is watching with you here today. And of course, I do want to say I see those of you who are here in support of this virtual service. I'm so grateful that you are here, and I see your magnificence. I see your magnificence shining forth, and I'm so, so deeply grateful that you are here. As those messages proliferate in your own time, we'll find ourselves coming to a place of centered awareness. Allowing the opportunity to turn that focus to the inner life. And if it works for you and you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so. I find it helps me to close my eyes, to turn that focused attention to the inner life that is the cause and shows up as effect, as the outer life. Everything in our world of experience, everything in our world of circumstance is the flow and the construct of that which is within. And so if we would like that out there to shift, the requirement is that we shift that which is within. That is the power that we have. So taking just a moment to reflect on this, reflecting on the core nature of our truth, that we are this magnificent divine presence. We are the infinite flow of good. We are the construct of love. Right where we are, God is. I will read out loud this month's affirmation. Just allow yourself to take it to heart, see how it works for you. The affirmation is this: the I am essence that I am is awake and aware, and my life is blessed and inspired. The I am essence that I am is awake and aware, and my life is blessed and inspired. Let yourself be with that for just a few moments.
Rolling river God,
Little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Now I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I long to stay and feel the sharpest edges washed away. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Rolling river god, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Thank you. We are going to do this, but I want to say something just for a moment about Linda Ackerman. I agree wholeheartedly. I have a friend who is a mutual friend with Elise, and they came to see one of your patio shows, your porch shows, last week, and they posted on Facebook. They said to Elise, they said, "Your mother is a national treasure." And I want to say that I wholeheartedly agree with that. I am so deeply grateful for you. Yeah. Yes, indeed. And you are national treasures as well. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to light the flames of faith, our ritual that we've adopted here. And Laura is going to help me out this morning. Grateful to have you here, Laura. Thank you for being here. We do this ceremony in honor of the world traditions, the world faith traditions, the religions, the spiritual ideologies that exist, and taking them all into our hearts and understanding that they are all born out of one thing, that divine golden thread of love. And so that is what we are here to do as we light each of these candles. And so we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is the candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of divinity. For that is the true nature of healing, the revealing of the God essence, the God energy, the creative source behind all that is. And so this is your candle to illuminate whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle here to your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated in the understanding that peace is consistently illuminated at the core of our hearts. And when we allow that illumination to shine from within, we create peaceful experiences in this world. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established, and peace begins to reign in the world. The special music today is written by my friend Karen Mitchell. She's a New Thought musician. She's been in the New Thought music scene for a little while now. She used to be part of the church where I was in Los Angeles, and then she became a minister and is now Reverend Karen Mitchell and is in service to the world. I think she's based out of the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living now, but she's a magnificent soul, and she writes some really beautiful music. So I thought this was especially appropriate for the last Sunday of the year, this particular song. I used to be someone. I used to be someone who didn't cry. My heart was so empty, and I didn't know why. Living in the future and the past, never in the moment, 'cause the moment never lasts. The finish line was all that I could see, until I heard these words that set me free. And now the joy is in the journey. Every step that I take is a choice I make now. The joy is in the journey. One day at a time, I'm learning learning to find who I am. I used to be afraid of letting go, afraid of standing still, afraid to grow. Now I see how far I've come with you, and now my faith is stronger than the fears that I've walked through. The joy is in the journey. Every step that I take is a choice I make now. The joy is in the journey. One day at a time, I'm learning to find who I am. And I will find my own voice in my own way. I will live and I will love and I will pray to know the joy is in the journey. Every step I take is a choice I make now. The joy is in the journey. One day at a time, I'm learning to find who I am. One day at a time, I'm learning to find who I am. Thank you. So funny as I have a little bit of a false start on all the songs today. It seems I'm having a, That's a new one. Yeah, that is a new song for me. I've never sung that song publicly before today. But I'm also thinking I have a good excuse because of everything that went into putting the Christmas Eve service together. I was pretty busy this week. I didn't really focus on that song particularly for a bit. I want to start today with a quote of Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward was a luminary of New Thought. He was contemporary with the Fillmores and with Ernest Holmes. And he was actually the first president of the International New Thought Alliance, of which this spiritual center, this church, is a member still. He gave a series of lectures in Edinburgh, that's in Scotland, back at the turn of the last century, 1906, I want to say, is when these lectures were given. And they are foundational works for anyone who studies New Thought. They are truly rooted as foundations of New Thought. He wrote this, or said this in the lectures, which was that they were then later transcribed and published. He said, "My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, since the divine cannot change its inherent nature," I'm going to say that again. Since the divine cannot change its inherent nature, it must operate in the same manner in me. Consequently, in my own special world, of which I am the center, it will move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before. That feels really good to me. I know it's a very long quote, but there are a couple parts of this quote that I want to highlight. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller operation. That's number one. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller operation, or fuller expression. Basically what that is saying is that the divine operation is always moving itself forward. It is always evolving itself into greater expressions of itself, fuller expressions of itself. And that is happening by means of each and every one of us. That's the second part of what he's saying. Something entirely new is being born at all times from that center of divine operation. And since this is who and what we are, each and every one of us, our inherent nature is expansion and fuller expression. That is the core nature of each and every one of us. So, if I'm going to very succinctly state it, our mind creates our experience in fuller ways all the time and cannot help but do so. And that's the whole message today, really. That is really the whole message. We are constantly on a path forward, evolving no matter what into expressions, fuller expressions of this infinite divine self of which we are all. Not just a part, but from which we are all expressing, because there is no separation. There is only God, and that is who and what we are. It is often on the final Sunday of a year in my ministry over the past years that I've been preaching from, various pulpits. It is usually on the final Sunday of the year that I take the opportunity to reflect. I think a lot of us take the opportunity to reflect at the end of the year. We say, oh, well, what has this year been? We don't need to worry about what this year has been, because I think a lot of us have a lot of opinions about what this year has been, and they will not serve us moving forward. So, how shall we reflect? It is a common New Year's practice to see where we have come from, to, decide where we are going. Reflection can be a great tool. It can be a great tool. It allows for the observation for our growth, because it allows us to live within comparison. Who we are now is inherently an evolution and a growth from who we have been. Even 5 minutes ago, we're a fuller expression of self now than we were 5 minutes ago. So, just as an exercise, not that we're going to live on this paradigm, but just as an exercise, I would like you to consider for a moment, just for a moment, what are some ways that you recognize growth in yourself over this past year? Just allow yourself to see what comes up for you, what comes up in your mind. One of the things that comes up is there's a meme that's been going around. Basically, it essentially says that 2020 was going to be a year where I discovered or was able to obtain all the things that I was seeking in my life. And yet it has become a year where I can reflect on the gratitude I have for everything I have. That's one of the things that comes up for me, gratitude. Because it's not been an easy year. It hasn't. It just hasn't. And it's okay to say that. We can say that. It doesn't mean that we're going to live that moving forward, because the divine is always working itself in terms of fuller expansion and fuller expression, and cannot help but do so. What if we laid down the comparisons of the past and we just accepted that growth and expansion, as each and every one of us, growth and expansion is and was and will ever be inevitable? That there is no way we cannot continually grow and expand. We can never actually regress. We are always living in progress, or as I would say in Canada, progress. Isn't that really what Troward was offering when he said the divine will move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before? That is God's nature, and that is our core identity. So our work is actually to let go and allow that forward momentum to take us on that journey. It's like the rolling river God. Essentially that song is about, God, the construct of God, this consciousness, this awareness, to wipe away the rough edges that we actually build up ourselves. That when we understand that God, that power, that infinite creative power, is at the core of all things, that we are in that flow, every rough edge is taken away. And we find ourselves smoother in the hands of grace, as those individualized stones. But we are not separate from that flow. We are not separate from the river. We are part of the river. The divine will move forward to produce new conditions always in advance of any that have gone before. It's that always in advance part that God, spirit, consciousness is always evolving, whether we actively participate or not. Now, we can actively participate in that. But we don't have to actively participate in that if we understand that that is our core nature. When we start to put ideas of importance on things out there, though, we separate ourselves from that consciousness. And that's when things can go awry. So the joy is in the journey. The joy is in the journey. What if we let go of the super serious approach to life? That's really what today I want to get to. What if we let go of the super serious approach to life and just started living it joyfully? What if we just decided that today I am going to live from joy, that is who and what I am. And I don't need to worry about anything in the world of circumstance. I don't need to worry about the legislation that doesn't seem to want to be passed, or we don't need to worry about, acts of violence. We don't need to worry about any of that. I am going to decide that my personal journey right here and right now is going to be lived joyfully. The minute I start to align myself with all that stuff out there, boy, that can be a joy killer. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Now, there is benefit to looking at those things and knowing that we can infuse our joy, our light upon those things, and those things will shift and change. That's the other thing that is very, very powerful as New Thought practitioners, that we have the capacity to change the experience of the world. I'm going to go to the person who was my foundational author in New Thought, and that is Ernest Holmes. He wrote, "Today is the only day in which we live, and yesterday has forever passed. The change we need to make within ourselves must be made today." So it begs this question: who will you be today? Who will you decide to be today? It's not uncommon that people find their way to New Thought teachings because they are looking for change in their lives. A lot of people come to this philosophy, with that in mind, without even sometimes realizing it. They get dragged to a New Thought church, Unity of Religious Science church, doesn't matter. They get dragged to a New Thought church, and it's funny because I always like to say to people, whether you are here on purpose or not, you are here on purpose. There are people who will come into a New Thought church for the first time looking for something, and they'll sit in the back. And I know that many people have expressed to me that this was their experience. They sit in the back row, and they find themselves weeping through their first experience of a New Thought service because there's something that is resonant that touches them at that level because they have been looking for something that is unlike what they have known. They are looking for change. What they find within New Thought, I believe, is a promise for a better experience of life, a better expression of life, and that is born from changing our patterns of thought. Whole teaching right there. We change our patterns of thought. Those patterns are rooted in belief. When we change those things, our life changes. And so what happens in that is we're like, oh, I can do this. Yes. And then we work really hard. We take it so seriously. We go and we study. We're like, I'm going to study all of the books. I'm going to study Lessons in Truth. I'm going to study the science of mind. I'm going to study whatever aspect of New Thought you study. I'm going to study Thomas Troward. I'm going to study Ralph Waldo Emerson. I'm going to study, and I take it very seriously, and I'm going to change my life. Yes, I'm working very hard to change my life. And we forget to live life in joy. We place such focus on the change we seek. We do it at the expense of joy sometimes. So today, it is time for fun. It is time for some serious fun. If we accept that God is always evolving in forward-moving ways, why do we feel the need to work so hard? I'm letting that go today. Life is meant to be lived joyfully. Auntie Mame had it right when she said, life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. We are not those suckers. We are not starving to death. We are enjoying all the fruits on that banquet. Now, we can be serious about our spiritual practice. I take very seriously my connection to the utilization of prayer in my life. I take very serious my connection to the utilization of affirmations and meditation and all of the things that we do, the labyrinth. It is a very serious practice for me, but I do so with joy in my heart. And I don't let it become so serious that it eliminates the joy of my life. It takes a willingness to let go of those limitations. So are you willing to let go of the limitations? Limitations of what we think. Easy for me to say. Limitations of what we think, like what life should look like, right? What life should look like. Oh, life should look like this. You know, the ways in which others should behave, or the ways others should express or dress. So it's funny. Speaking of that, we were in the final countdown towards the service, and I realized that I didn't put on my nice shoes, and that I'm wearing tennis shoes. You don't have to get a close-up because my tennis shoes are kind of ratty looking. But I ended up wearing my tennis shoes, and I even went to Laura, and I said, Laura, I have to go change my shoes. She said, why? You can leave your shoes. And I'm like, okay, I will, because today it's part of what I'm talking about. I don't need to live within the paradigm of what others think I should, the ways in which I should express. Decisions about what should have been or should be. And then there's that irreverent, reverend part of me that comes up and says we should stop shoulding all over ourselves. How many of us have been focused, and how many of us have placed our focus on the perception of challenge that we have had this past year in 2020? It's easy. It's easy, so easy to see all the problems. But many of us miss opportunities because they are disguised as problems. So what I want each of us to consider today are the opportunities that we can embody in this here and now moment without judgment about what has been, because we may have looked upon these opportunities as problems in the past. I was faced with an opportunity when I realized that the Christmas Eve service was going to be something different, and it was going to, and I thought to myself, well, I could, very easily, I could have made it very easy upon myself, and we could have done a traditional Christmas Eve with a camera and, doing it live from here. And I thought, I want to do something different. I want to take the opportunity to express in a different way, to allow that creative God nature that is me to flow forth in a way that I think will be resonant with this community. I've certainly had my share of looking at things as problems. But I choose to see them as opportunities. I choose to see them as opportunities. So what that requires is that we all let ourselves off the hook. I have to let myself off the hook for those things that I looked at as problems in the past. It's one of my favorite aspects of this ministry, and it became a catchphrase for me for a long time, to encourage and invite people to let themselves off the hook. We are the only ones who can make the change in our lives that we seek. No one else is going to do it for us. I can't do it for you. It is up to each and every one of us to take to heart the changes we would like to experience, to let go, take time for some serious fun, and allow God to evolve in its perfect way, which is its nature. I've written books in the past. Well, I've written one book that I've published. I've written books, one that's been published. I've written screenplays, I've written plays, And as a writer, as a sometimes writer, what I have learned in the practice of writing is this. As long as I keep trying to rewrite that last chapter, I will never start work on the new chapter. How many of us are trying to rewrite that last chapter? I need to stop. I need to put it down. I need to stop trying to edit it. And I need to say, I am ready for the new. I am ready for what is to unfold. Life is like that. When we get focused on fixing the past, we halt our steps into the new. And so, as we step into a new year, this is the final Sunday of 2020, as we step into a new year, who will we decide to be moving forward, letting go, or trying to edit, or shoulding ourselves around the past? Now, somewhere along the line, we learned that that was the way to be. That we had to really, be serious. Carl Sagan offered this. I love Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan wrote this. He said, "You go talk to kindergartners or first grade kids and you will find a class full of enthusiasts. They ask deep questions. They ask, what is a dream? Why do we have toes? Why is the moon round? What is the birthday of the world? Why is the grass green?" These are profound, important questions, and they just bubble up right out of them. You go talk to 12th graders, and there's none of that. They've become incurious. Something has happened between kindergarten and 12th grade. Now imagine if we don't take charge of our thinking, what happens between 12th grade and whatever age we are. And it's been a while since I've been out of 12th grade. I think that it is time for each and every one of us to find our way back to that bubbling curiosity around life. And that's why this coming year, 2021, I've decided to make the theme for the year be emerge. To allow that bubbling curiosity to emerge from within each and every one of us. To stop taking life so seriously and allow the fun to be part of the experience, to be part of the paradigm, and perhaps lead us as the experience and the paradigm to the fullest expression of divinity that we inherently are. I felt that it was appropriate to say it is time for us to emerge in 2021, following 2020, where many of us receded due to circumstances, where we looked at problems and saw them as problems, not disguised opportunities. So where are we headed? It is time for serious fun as we emerge. And so I ask you this question. What would you like to emerge? What would you like to emerge in 2021 for yourself? How would you like your divine life to be lived? It is up to you, to each and every one of us, to decide what that is going to be and then allow the joy to be in the journey. Make some in-the-moment decisions just right now. Just say, I'm going to choose to be this in 2021. Don't think about it too hard. Just allow yourself to let it be. Set the tone. Set the tone through serious practice and then allow yourself to have fun within that. I have set up a page on our website to help. Now, I understand in the past on New Year's, you've written letters to God. Yes? Yes. It's a little challenging right now that we can't collect physical letters in hand. So I found this opportunity where if you go to our website, you can actually write out your letter to God. You can type it out, and you could submit it with your email address, and it will automatically be sent to you on July 15th, 2021. And you can see if you had the capacity to let go and allow that serious fun to take over. You get to decide what goes in that letter. The link is in the description of this video. Also, I think we've put up a graphic that has the URL on there as well. You just type that into your browser. It's also linked on our homepage. Check it out. I'm going to invite the band to come back up because that essentially is the homework today. I want you to write that letter. I want you to decide that you're going to allow the joy to be in the journey. Write the letter, set your intention, allow yourself to determine what your God self looks like, and then live it. When that letter gets sent to you July 15th, 2015, I fully expect that you will have all taken this to heart to such a degree that you will read that letter and say, yes, 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 I am in the midst of emergence. because we are never fully emerged. We are consistently in that state of becoming. We are consistently in that state of emerging. So emerge in 2021 with me. That's the homework. And definitely have some serious fun. I'm going to invite you to reflect on something that has come up for you here today that perhaps resonates in a different way, or you heard it in a new way, and allow that to be present in your mind and in your heart right here, right now. In this moment, right here and right now, I let go of the past. I let go of the things I forget, and I trust and know the truth of my being. When I forget, we are one, and I regret things that I've done. I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Right in this moment, I am free. I am free to live a most magnificent life. I am free and ready for some serious fun. For I live within this assured knowledge that the only thing that exists is this divine presence, this consciousness, this infinite power of creation. The only thing that exists is God. And this is who and what I am. And God's nature is to evolve and to expand and to fully express more and more and more. And so I accept this as my nature. And I accept and understand that this is the nature of each and every one of us. There is absolutely no separation. Our identity is God. And so we live God's identity. We are fully expressed as God. And I accept this here at the heart level. I trust and know that this full expression takes hold, flows forth, and evermore becomes the construct and point of view of the fullest experience of life each and every one of us is living. It is with a grateful heart that I simply allow this, trust this, and know this to be so. As I relax and live in its pure, perfect fulfillment, I know it to be. And so it is. When things go wrong and my way seems dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. am free. Thank you. Just take a moment to live in that. And let's allow ourselves to turn to gratitude now. Gratitude for this spiritual community, gratitude for our spiritual family, gratitude for all that we have to offer and the ways that we have allowed ourselves to live within magnificent vision, and that vision is turning itself into an emergence as we move forward. Gratitude is the core from which I choose to give of my heart, give of my soul, and give of my treasure as well. And so I'm going to invite you to participate in the act of giving here today with gratitude in your heart. There are many ways that you can give to support the vision and mission here at Unity of Tucson. One of those ways is to just go to our website, unitytucson.com, and click on one of the links to offer a contribution through your debit or credit card. You can also call the office during our regular office hours, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and offer a contribution with a card over the phone. You can also send in a check. All of those ways are outlined in the description of this video and also on the screen there for you. I'm so deeply grateful for your support of this spiritual community, and I trust and know that we are blessed and ever expanding into more exquisite expressions of this thing called life. And that's what we are here to do, to fully express from our God selves. Let's read together as a confirmation and an affirmation of our gratitude, the divine givingness statement. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. All right. In this moment, I feel joy. In this moment, I feel joy. In this moment, I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. Yes, indeed it is. All right. So just as a reminder, I am back to doing our virtual gathering today on Zoom. If you'd like to join me on Zoom and have a chat and have some social time following today's celebration, that'll be at 11:30 on Zoom. The link for that is in the description field of the video. You can also find it on the homepage at unitytucson.com. Nominations are open for board positions. If you are finding it in your heart that you feel like you would like to serve this community, we welcome your nomination. Contact Paula Olson. The email for that is also on our website and in our emails that are going out, so we would love to have you consider yourself as a person who would like to be part of the leadership of this community as we move into our emergence in 2021. Also, we do still have the sock box available if you'd like to stop by the office during our regular office hours. We are collecting socks and underwear and various things that we will then distribute out to those who are in need of those types of things. Also, as a reminder, the New Year's Eve Labyrinth and the Dissolving Bowl is going to be happening beginning at 11:30 a.m. on New Year's Eve. We are inviting people to join us in blocks of 10, so we are asking that you pre-register. It's an outdoor event. We will ask that you wear masks, but you'll get to set your intention, walk the labyrinth, utilize the Dissolving Bowl to release whatever needs to be released, and emerge from the labyrinth with a new consciousness and a new way of being as we step into this emergence. So I encourage you to join us for that. It'll be between 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. on New Year's Eve. There is a link on our homepage. Everything's on our homepage. There is a link on our website for that as well. Also, if you have not already turned in your pledge forms and you are looking, and if you will help us with our budgeting, we would love to know what your intention is for giving in 2021. That is what the purpose of those pledge forms is, and as we receive them back, it allows us to make solid financial decisions as we move into a new budget year for us. So please do return your pledge forms. If you did not receive one, you can actually go and fill out a form online at our website. Everything can be found on our website, unitytucson.com. So please do check that out. I, of course, want to say I am such deep gratitude for everyone that makes this experience possible. I'm grateful for our technical crew for making this happen. Wally, Don, Aiden, thank you so much. I'm grateful, of course, to Laura. Karen's in the room. Karen, the president of our board. Grateful to you for your service and your leadership always, and for lighting the candles and your consciousness. Laura, thank you for being here. Jeffrey, I see you back there. Thank you for all that you do, of course. Grateful for you. And of course, I am so grateful for this national treasure of a band. Linda, Joshua, Raphael, thank you so much for all that you do. I definitely want to say that I am grateful to you, this spiritual family, for all that you are, all that you do, and all that you choose to be in this world. Thank you for being here. I don't know, I'm feeling very emotional today, and I think it's because it's the final Sunday of the year. Okay, pull it together and have some serious fun. As we complete our time here, let's read together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Here's a way to have some serious fun. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. Well, we're all precious, no one less or more, and we've all got the same treasure in store. That's why I'm loving every living thing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. You know what? I'm believing in my guiding light. Well, no matter what comes, it always turns out right. I just dig down to how I feel. I take a deep breath and then grab the wheel. That's why I'm believing in my guided light. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. right. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Happy New Year!